Let's jump in and learn how to warp your triangle looms. Warp strings are held taut on the loom so that you can weave other fibers, which are called your weft, through the tapestry. There are 3 sizes of looms, but they can all be warped the same way. The side of the loom with the most holes, closest together, is the bottom. Each bottom hole lines up with a hole traveling up the other 2 sides of the triangle. These holes were specially designed as a teardrop shape to grab onto the warp strings and help create even, tight tension as you are warping. The first method for warping is a regular single warp process. It helps to thread your yarn onto a needle to guide it through the holes. We will be warping in sections so that the length of string is manageable and the tension is tight and even. Begin at a bottom corner with the 2 holes closest to each other. Thread your warp from the back side, leaving about a 2-inch tail, up through the first bottom hole and then back down through the matching top hole. Now, instead of wrapping the warp back to the bottom yet, thread it back up through the next top hole and then back down to the bottom, where you will knot it with the beginning tail to secure. Continue this pattern: bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, top, top. This way there are no extra strings crossing across the back side of your loom, making it difficult to weave and making the back bulky and messy. Before you knot the end of each section, you can go through and gently pull all of the strings tight to remove any slack. When you reach the end of your length, simply double knot it onto the last warp string and begin again with a new length. The second method for warping is similar to the first, but is called double warping. This method is best for more detailed techniques and to add extra durability across larger open areas, such as on the large triangle. Again, thread your yarn onto a needle and cut a length to warp in sections. Begin at the bottom corner with the 2 holes closest to each other. Thread your needle from the back side, leaving a tail, up through the bottom hole and then back through the matching top hole. Then up through the next top hole and back down through the matching bottom hole, where you will tie a knot to secure the tail. Now, instead of moving on to the next bottom hole, go back to the previous bottom hole and repeat the last 4 holes again before moving on to the next bottom hole. Continue this pattern, repeating each set of 4 twice before moving on. This creates 2 warp strings running through each matching hole for double the amount of warp. It can get confusing to go back and pull each warp string to remove slack, so just pull tight each time you move on to the next warp string to make sure there isn't any extra slack in the tension. Just like with the single method of warping, always begin and end each section by securing the tails with a knot. Now you're ready to weave!